Hi, I'm JC, and this is Dad Bod with JC. I'm going to be working out for 60 minutes every evening, as it turns out. Going to record this like this. All the recordings go on YouTube, Dad Bod with JC. But other than that, I'll just get started. I don't really have any story to start with today. Let's see, what do we have in store today? Today we have upper back stretching and hamstring stretching. That's the stuff I need most typically. So with the upper back stretching, I like to um, get going with cat-cows. Um, yep. So I'm going to do 5 of these, and I'll just keep the cat and the cow for a second or two. Yeah, I'll get started. Also, for the cat-cows, I like to keep my hands below my shoulders and my knees below my hips. That way I have some decent support. And coming down for the cat. And cow, I'm going to count down from 5. I'm only doing 5 of these. So there's cat 5, cow, cat 4, cow, cat 3, cow, cat 2, cow, cat 1. And that's it for the first set of cat-cows. I have a second set coming up here in a few seconds. Let's see, anything's happened since yesterday. I got some tennis planned tomorrow, so tomorrow morning. So before any day before I play tennis, I like to do a stretching session, just to get all my muscles a little looser, leaner, longer, and I'm ready for my second set of cat-cows. Wrists below shoulders, knees below hips, as best I can. Going down for the cow. And the cat. Cow. And the cat. Cow. And the third cat. Cow. And a fourth cat. Cow. And the last cat. It's a good way to wake up my upper back. Next up is a child's pose. I'm going to hold that child's pose for an 8 count. There we go. So for the child's pose, my forearms go on the mat. My head goes below, well, in between, on the mat, between the elbows. And my rear end pushes towards the back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back up. I got one more set of the child's pose. Wow, my heart rate's way down, which is good. These are stretches and supposed to be relaxing. Very relaxing, apparently. Let's see here. Second set of child's pose coming up. Now my rear end pushes towards my ankles here. Holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly back up. So that was 2 sets of cat-cows. and 2 sets of child's pose. Next up is a wall stretch. So for the wall stretch, I'll get up, find a nice wall, and I'll walk up to the wall at a 45-degree angle, put my forearm against the wall, kind of my upper arm is sticking, or my upper or lower arm. Anyways, my arm is hitting straight into the wall, forearm straight up. And then once I'm there, my feet rotate away to get myself a nice shoulder stretch. Once I find a good shoulder stretch, I deepen the stretch a little bit by moving my chin away from that shoulder. And I hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly release. I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. I'm going to use this other wall here. It's a little bit more cluttered here, so it's harder to see, but it's pretty much the same thing. Forearms straight into the wall, basically. Use my feet to rotate away from the shoulder for a stretch. And and then my chin rotates out. I'm not feeling the stretch right now. I need to rotate a little bit more. And there it is. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. One more set of that. Forearm to the wall. Use my feet to rotate away from that shoulder. Stretching out for holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again to the other side. Rotating away from that shoulder. Holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it for the wall stretch. Next up is trunk rotation. There's a version of trunk rotation I can do standing up, but it's easier and I feel more effective to do the laying down trunk rotation. Basically, I lay it down flat, my knees come up, my knees, and I bend my knees essentially. And then I bend my knees over to, flop my knees over to one side with my knees and ankles stacked, and my head and shoulders kind of bob the other direction, and I feel a little rotation in my core. And then I switch sides. Let's see here. For the trunk rotation, I'm gonna flip and flop here. I'm just gonna do 2 sets of 8 reps. I guess 4 on each side. So here we go. Laying on my back. My knees are going to go this way. My head and shoulders are going to go that way. Just holding for about 2 or 3 seconds. And then flipping to the other side. That's 1. Flip over. That's 2. Rotate. Rotate. That's 3. Rotate. Rotate. And that's 4. A nice development with this set of trunk rotations that I just did. I felt the ab muscles doing its thing. I don't think I've ever felt that before, like in this series of, like I felt some muscles kick in, but these are very specific muscles that were doing the actual rotation. I think I'm going to take that as a positive development. My muscles are starting to define themselves enough that I can feel the different muscles as they're doing stuff. So big improvement for me there. This is, for me it's great news. Hopefully same thing happens for you all at some point in time, whether it's sooner or later in your little fitness journey. Second set of trunk rotations coming up. All right. Again, I'm gonna rotate my knees this way, my trunk, upper body up to the other way, and flip. That's 1. Flip. I'm not really flipping fast here. I'm going nice and slow. I don't want to pull any muscles. I don't want to strain any muscles. This is a relaxation and stretch exercise. So I'm rotating relatively slow, and just trying to keep my muscles nice and relaxed and loose, and of course also using them to stretch and further the stretch. You'll notice I say flip real quick, but the rotation's actually really slow. That's 3. Flip. And that's it. 2 sets of trunk rotation. I think I did enough of that. So next up is shoulder rolls. I love shoulder rolls. I should do shoulder rolls all the time. I really need them. I work a desk job, so it's good. So for the shoulder rolls, I'm going to do 10 reps forwards, 10 reps backwards, and the way I get them started is I bring my shoulders up towards my ears, then out to the front, then down away from my ears, then out to the back, and back up again for 10, and I keep rolling them around nice and slow for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back. So for the back, I get started by bringing my shoulders up to my ears, bringing my shoulders back, then down, then forwards, and around in that direction. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Second set of shoulder rolls coming up after I take a couple breaths of air, drink some water. Instead of counting this time, I'm going to talk a little bit about my fitness journey. I I pretty much give these statistics every time every recordings every 60 minutes, but it's I think it to me for me it's motivating personally to keep going, and anyone who's just tuning in once or twice, they'll hear it and go, oh, okay, it makes sense why I keep doing this. So I'll get started on the shoulder rolls, and I'll start on my story here. So I'm bringing my shoulders up and forwards and around for 10. Okay, so here it goes. I started this about 50, I guess, actually 3 months ago. I'm trying to do, just a sec. Hello? No, thank you. All right, bye. Yep, I didn't need that. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so shoulder rolls. I'll start over for the shoulder rolls. So 10, 9, and so yeah, this is about my 56th recording, if I remember correctly, and I've been at it for 3 months. So I haven't been recording every day. It's kind of like more or less 2 out of every 3 days ish. And I went through a period where I was only doing Monday through Friday, and it turns out that 5 days a week isn't as good as 7 days a week. I wasn't getting as much out of it, so I went back to 7 days a week. I actually get a lot more out of it 7 days a week, and the way I'm keeping track of the progress is, of course, I weigh myself fairly regularly, at least once a week, and then I take measurements once a week. The measurements are super important if you're going through this. Okay, I'm going to go backwards now. So the measurements are super important because I had only, after 60 days almost, or after 3 months, I've only lost like 5 or 6 pounds. The real reason the measurements are important is because it turns out that I gained a bunch of muscle and lost a bunch of fat. From the measurements I took, I've lost over 2 gallons of fat. Now my goals include losing about 8 or 9 more gallons. So apparently I had 11 or 12 gallons to lose altogether, or 10 or 11, whatever the math works out to. This isn't exact, right? It's just approximate. But from the measurements don't lie. I took these measurements all up and down my torso, all up and down my legs, my arms, and if you do the math to get the volume, everything's shrunk. Well, maybe not everything, but yeah. From belt to, I guess, neck, I've lost about 2 inches straight through. If I was a can of Coke here, the can of Coke would have shrunk 2 inches. So I call that a win, and I got to keep going. I want to keep going. I like to play sports, and it's a whole lot easier playing sports with fewer inches around the waist. A whole lot less likely that you're going to injure yourself. Yeah, one of the issues I was running into is my knees were starting to go make I want to say make noise, but they don't really make noise. They were starting to bother me a little bit when I was running around, and that's just because of the weight. It's fairly simple. All right, that's enough of the shoulder rolls. But yeah, the knees are feeling a lot better now. Next up is neck flex. The neck flex I do starts on this side, goes down to the middle, it goes off to this other side. All right, so I'm just going to do 3 reps and 3 sets of the 3 reps. But here we go. The neck's going off to this one side here. I just hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, and then down, chin down, straight down, then off to the other side. That's 1 rep. And chin down, the original side, Chin down, opposite side. It's 2 reps. Chin down, original side. Chin down, opposite side. And that's 3 reps. That's 1 set. And second set's coming up. Second set of the nut flex. Every time I say neck flex, I feel like I'm saying Netflix, but neck flex. Same thing, starting on this side. So here we go, neck flexes to one side, and then down, other side, for 1 rep, and then down, original side, and then down, opposite side, 2 reps, and down, original side, and down, opposite side, for 3 reps. That's it. The neck has been flexed. It feels better. Oh, I have this written down as three sets of this. So yeah, let me do 1 more set of this. I felt like I needed a little bit more relaxing around the neck anyway, so this should do me some good. So here we go. 3rd set of neck flex. Head down to the side, flexing this neck, nice and loose. Head down. Head over for 1 rep. And down, original side. And down, opposite side for 2 reps. And down, original side. And down, opposite side for 3 reps. All right, so that was the neck flex. Next up is the overhead arm reach. I'm going to do 2 sets of this one. So I just reach up high. I'm crisscrossing my fingers, if you can't see. Reach up high, and then I just stretch this side. And I hold that stretch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly come back to neutral. Slowly come back to the other side. Once I feel a good stretch, I hold that for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly come back up into neutral and release. So that's just 1 set. I'll have a second set coming up of that. So it's really nice. At every turn, I'm going nice and slow. At every turn, whenever I feel I can stretch or loosen something, I make at least I make an attempt to stretch or loosen it. So I'm kind of thirsty, so. So yeah, instead of counting, I'll talk a little bit more about the measurements. All right, I'm gonna get in the stretching position first before I start talking. So arms all the way up, bending over to the first side, holding that for 8. So yeah, I'm taking measurements, and the real trick to this is I'm trying to lose measurement basically. The whole idea is to burn the fat and gain some muscle, and at this point I'm feeling comfortable. I'm able to burn the fat. I know when I'm in fat burning mode, or I have a good idea, which is really at this point, it really needs to be 24/7. I got to be in fat burning mode. I try not to overeat. My meal sizes, I'm switching over to the other side. My meal sizes have to be about the same. I mean, it's not the same meal. Breakfast tends to be the same exact meal because I just enjoy the eggs and turkey sausage, and it's nice and compact, and it's got a ton of protein. But the meals need to be relatively, they're good sized meals. Oh, that's a good set. They're good sized meals, but I gotta keep them not too huge, so that I'm not working against myself with the food. And it's been working so far. Every week when I take measurements, something drops, something somewhere drops, somewhere between the neck all the way down to my knees. Actually, my right through the middle of the thighs. Apparently, I wish I could confirm this somehow, but right through the middle of my thighs, from the measurements, I've lost 2 inches. Like at the bottom and then at the top, I haven't lost anything or changed at all. But the middle has lost 2 inches. So how that happens is beyond me. It's what happened. I'm pretty stoked about it because I can see some definition in here, which is great. I am going to focus in on future exercises to see if my lower thigh doesn't feel like it's particularly fatty or whatever, but my upper thigh towards my rear end, I could probably lose a little fat. So I'm going to see if I can find any exercises specifically targeting. I guess I got to do booty exercises. So I might actually have a booty list. There's people online talk about booty workouts, and that might be in my not too distant future here. I never thought I'd be a booty guy, but here I am. I guess I should plan it. Next is a knee to the chest. I'm gonna hold the knees. So I'm gonna sit down and hold the knees to my chest for a good 8 count. I'm gonna do 2 sets of that. So yeah. So based on the measurements, I lost 2 inches there, right in the middle of the thigh. And it looks like I have more cushion that I can lose towards the top of the thigh. So that's where I'll head out. So yeah. So this knees to the chest thing is hard for me. I got a lot of cushion up here to still get rid of, or burn, I should say. So here we go. I'm gonna press. Wow, I'm doing a lot better now than I have in the past. So I'm gonna press my knees into my chest as best I can and hold for 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. This feels great. I am making progress. The measurements show it. The measurements are really important because if I was just looking at the scale, I would have seen very little progress. About 8 weeks into it, I was at 0 pounds lost. Like I had gained a little weight. I guess I was eating wrong or whatever, and I had 0 to show for it. I'm like 7, 8 weeks into it, and like my weight had gone down, then it went back up. I think it went back up when I went back to 5 days a week instead of 7 days a week of this, and it's fun. I mean, on the weekends I was having a ton more fun, but I gotta be persistent, and I want to bring everything down. Now, what was happening? I can explain more what was happening and why my weight went up. I was eating a ton of protein, and I wasn't gaining fat, but I was gaining muscle, and my weight went back up. I gained a bunch of muscle. I'm gonna count down from 8, 7. So I gained a bunch of muscle. Instead of counting, I'll talk. So I gained a bunch of muscle, and lost some fat probably, but gained as much muscle as fat I've lost apparently, and my weight went up. But since then, I'm like, well, I don't really have to muscle build right now. I really do want to go leaner. The whole point was to get my knees some relief from all the weight I was carrying. So at some point I'll focus in on some muscle building again. But at this point, I'm going to try to lean it up. And it's working. I mean, I have enough muscle base now to just be able to burn fat. Just I'll maintain the muscle, maybe gain a little bit here. Maybe I'll add to the booty muscles. But for the most part, it's about leaning up a little bit, toning up, and burning off some more of this fat. I only do the calculations for how many gallons of fat I've burned once a month or so. I'm about 2 or 3 weeks away from my next calculations, but from what I remember, I'm probably at 2.25 gallons right now, from roughly the shrinkage of the measurements. But that's just a guesstimate. I know I'm over 2 gallons. I just don't know how far over 2 gallons I am. Maybe it's just a little bit, maybe it's more. Okay, next set of stretches are going to be focusing on my legs. So next up is the seated forward fold. I'm going to hold it for an 8 count. So I'm sitting down, doing the forward fold, counting down from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can touch my toes. I couldn't do that. On day one, I'm on day 55, 56, something like that. And day one, I really couldn't touch my toes. I really had to stretch, or at the end of the workout, I could touch my toes. But right now, I'm touching my toes, and I'm just getting started with these stretches. Fantastic. Small victories, small gains, but it's all good. I have 2 sets of this seated forward fold, so next set's coming straight up. One of the things I look to do with the seated forward folds is to bring my belly button, kind of drive it through my thighs, basically. So here we go. I'm driving my belly button through the thighs, bringing my shoulders forward to try to touch the toes again, holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, don't forget to breathe, 3, 2, 1. And look at that, touching the toes like a champ. I know it's ridiculous to get so excited about that sort of thing, but that's way better than where I've been in the past. Next up is a seated V forward fold. It's just essentially the same thing. I am just gonna V my legs out. It's summertime, but my ceramic tile is still cold. It's always cold, so I'm keeping my legs on the mat. Normally, I spread out my legs out a little bit more. Actually, I'll take the time to bring the mat over so I can really get the V shape. This is the V shape I want. And I'm going to do the same. Bringing my belly button, driving it through my virtual thighs here, and going straight forward. Once I get to the stretch I want to find, I'm going to hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's feeling fantastic. I'm going to loosen up. Take a couple breaths. Roll my neck around. It makes a grinding noise. I think it's all the cartilage in my neck. It feels like the cartilage on my neck. It doesn't feel like it's in the middle. It feels it's like on the sides. I'm assuming there's cartilage in there. Maybe there isn't. Who knows? It just sounds like cartilage. All right. Legs are V'd out. Belly button's driving through my virtual thighs right here in the middle. And folding forward for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That feels pretty good. Now, I'll tell you this. 9 out of 10 people can do a better forward fold than I can. So, I mean, if you're doing a better forward fold, if you're following along and you're doing a better forward fold than I am right now, I'm happy for you. But don't get too terribly excited, because I'm very naturally don't do the forward folds very well. And like I said, I've done these in gym class. You know, I go to a fitness center sometimes. I've done those in those classes, and I look like I'm up here, and I look around and everyone's on the floor, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, everyone's on the floor. And I'm like, I think my back has moved from here to here. Yeah, about that. And so I'm glad you're able to stretch more than me, but yeah, most people can, is what I'm trying to say. All right, next up is the seated static stretch. Essentially, it's the same stretch. It's just one leg at a time. So for that, one leg stays out. The other leg tucks in around the knee or so, figure 4 style, chicken wing style. And then what I do is I bring my belly button over that thigh and stretch in this direction. And I hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm touching that toe. It's fantastic. I'm really happy. This is not normal for me. I'm so not flexible with the legs, or I don't know how long it's been. I think at some point in time, when I was in high school, decades ago, I think I was fairly flexible. I can't remember. No, I was less than 50% of the pack in flexibility as the other guys. But I mean, we're guys. We don't really compare. Like, I'm more flexible than you. That doesn't happen. But yeah, I was definitely more flexible than this. Soccer was just so much fun. I wasn't too good at it. I wasn't very good at it at all, but I loved it. All right, anyway, here we go. I got to stretch this way. Belly button turns over this thigh, stretching through, holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Back to the other side. That was one set down, one more set to go of the seated static stretch. Is that what I called it? Yeah, seated static stretch. I hope I pulled that off the internet so it's a real thing. Anyway, so bringing my belly button over the thigh again. Stretching down, feeling a good stretch, holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can touch that toe. I'm feeling good today. It only took 56 recordings and 3 months worth of work. Yeah, it's one of the things about getting a little older, is that it takes a little bit more effort to recover certain things. An accepted truth, I suppose. All right, here we go. Belly button over the thigh. Pressing the belly button down into the thigh. Feeling the stretch. Holding the stretch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. That's it for the seated static stretch. Next up is the lying down stretch. Okay, so I have some notes on the lying down stretch. I'm going to lie straight back. One leg is up, slight knee bend. I wrap my hands around the thigh, slowly straighten the leg. Hips stay on the floor, and I hold for an 8 count. So here comes that. I'm going to start with this leg, I think. Doesn't really matter which leg you start with. Notice I don't say left and right leg just because um, you just start with whatever you feel like starting. Just make sure to switch between the two legs. That should be good. All right, here we go. Lying straight back. One knee comes up. Get your hands behind the thighs. Straighten up that leg. Pull. Use your hands to pull in for the stretch, and hold this. Oh, the other leg can go up a little bit, and just an inch or two off the floor, and hold your core to give it a little core work there, and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower and switch legs. Hands behind the thigh. Slowly press that leg up, straight up. Bring the lower leg up just an inch or two off the floor. Engage the core and pull for the stretch. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's one set. Now, I feel a massive stretch on my hamstring when I do that particular exercise. I'm talking huge, more than whatever I do on most of the other stretches that I do. So this is one of my go-tos. That was one set. I got one more set planned. I might, well, not today, but I might end up throwing more of that into other exercises because the stretch I feel is just massive on that particular exercise. Maybe I just execute it better, or maybe it just works for me for whatever reason. Second set of the lying down stretch coming up. So here we go. Knees bent, hands wrap around the leg, knee goes straight up, our leg goes straight up. The other leg raises off the floor about an inch or two or whatever, and that helps engage the core. Now I pull back with my hands to really give that thigh a stretch, or the hamstring a stretch, and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release and switch legs. So here we go. Getting my hands behind that thigh. The other leg is straight. Straightening out the leg. Go straight up. Bring the lower leg up an inch or two off the ground to engage the core. Use the hands to pull back on the thigh to give yourself a nice stretch in that hamstring. And at this point, I'm feeling a stretch in my hamstring and my calf. I'm going to hold this for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Oh my goodness. That was better than I thought it would be. Oh my. All right. Just got 2 more stretches coming up. And those guys are both on my feet, so I'll get up now. Timing seems about right. Might end a teeny bit early today. Maybe, maybe not. I try to make these sessions about 60 minutes. Sometimes it goes a little long, sometimes a little short. It's all good. This next one is called a head down stretch. Got 2 sets of this. Here are my notes. Hands behind, legs about shoulder width apart. Legs stay straight. You bend forward at the hips, tuck the chin, and hold for 8. So, and the name of the stretch is the head down stretch. So I'm holding my hands behind my back. I'm just bending at the waist and tucking the chin. And once I find my stretch, this is stretching the backs of my legs. The head is down, the chin is tucked, and I am feeling a stretch in the backs of my legs. I'm going to hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. And coming back up. Nice and slow. That's one set, one more set coming up. Now, while I recover for between sets here, pro tip, something that's really helped me out, more recently really than towards the beginning. I've been looking for, I used to eat chips. I used to eat potato chips, corn chips. They made a chip, I ate it. And you know, potato chips aren't exactly health food, and I'm trying to find health food here. So I tried nuts, and nuts are good. They don't get me all the way there. Nuts work for certain things. It's a good snack food, but I needed to roll something else in there to kind of replace the potato chips. I tried other little snack foods, health foods, or whatever, and I found something that really works for me. It's a dry roasted edamame. I mean, they roast when they dry roast them. They roast them in, I guess, in a little bit of salt, so it has that chip saltiness, and the nutrient content is way good. It's crazy good. It's like for the one brand that I use, it's over here in this shelf, but it's 14 per serving. There's 14 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs, and 5 grams of fat. So that is like the perfect little ladder of food for me to be snacking on, because more protein is better. I was wanting to say more better. Yeah, more protein is more better. Why not? Okay, so next up is the second set of the head down stretch. Again, holding my hands behind my back, feet about shoulder width apart, maybe a teeny bit more. Bending at the waist. Bringing that head down. Feeling the stretch in the backs of my legs. Holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly coming back up. And one more, and that's it for the head down stretch. One more exercise I have planned here. It's called the scissor stretch. It's pretty much the same as the head down stretch, except that my legs are scissored forwards and backwards. So hands behind back, legs stay straight, bending at the waist. But when the legs are scissored like this, the front leg gets most of the stretch. It gets a more intense stretch than with the other one. So here, I'm bending at the waist, and my front leg is definitely getting more stretching in than the back leg. And I'm finding a stretch and holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly back up. Switching legs. And legs are switched. I need some more water. Now I'll do it after the set. Bending at the waist. Forward leg is feeling the stretch already, but I can go more. Head's going down, chin is getting tucked. Leg is really stretching at this point. I'm going to start my count at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back up. All right. That's one set, and I will get some water here. I don't know why I get really thirsty when I do stretching exercises. I'm assuming it's because as I stretch, there's water. The muscles need water in some way. Sounds reasonable, plausible. Super thirsty for stretching though. All right. Oh, this guy wants his evening exercise. Okay, I got one more stretch left. All right, he wants to play. Where's my toy? Give me my toy. You have to give me. Oh my goodness, he's stretching. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, little buddy. All right, here we go. He's not gonna let me do it. Now I got one more stretch left. Here we go. Here we go. Bending at the waist, feeling that stretch, counting for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly back up. And switching legs. I got one more set, little buddy. All right, here we go. Bending at the waist, head down. Holding for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly back up. And that's it for my list of exercises. I always close with a forward fold. But before I close, again, my name is JC. This has been Dad Bod with JC. I try to do this for about 60 minutes every evening. And yeah, this seems to be working for me. So hopefully, if you're following along, it's working for you. If you're liking what you're going through, give a subscribe, a follow, a like, anything that you can do positive for this account. And yeah, I'll end with a quick forward fold. With a forward fold, my legs are straight. I'm trying to feel a stretch around the back of the legs, then releasing my hips, releasing the lower back, releasing the upper back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the arms, the neck, the ears even, the top of the head, release all to the ground. Nice stretch all through the body. And nice and slow back up. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.